Hey, what's up, y'all? Sean here. You are listening to another episode of Sensibly Cynical. Today, I will be talking with Madelyn. She works at the Lunch and Supper over in Richmond, Virginia. We're going to talk about her experience in the food and beverage industry over 10 years, her love for music, and much more. Oh, and be prepared to laugh because this is a great one. Enjoy. And with me on the line, she has over 10 years of experience in the food and beverage industry. Madelyn, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Fabulous.
You know, I can't stop interviewing people from Richmond. It's just, I care so much about the city. You know, I have to keep bringing them on.
It's because we're the best. Richmond's the best.
Yeah, well, how's it going? I know I talked to your sister Amber not too long ago. Anything changed with the city? Any new restaurants opening up, or?
So, right now, everything's pretty much on hold because of the coronavirus. Restaurants, have been hit very specifically as industry-wise. A lot of restaurants have closed. It's actually really sad watching a lot of people, places you've worked before, people you've worked with previously, no longer having a job. So Richmond sort of came out as a food and beverage town probably in the last 10 to 15 years, and it's only built up traction. So it's kind of sad right now seeing that traction stopped. And, hopefully we come out on the other side of this entire pandemic stronger than ever.
Yeah, good old three. Is it 3 or 4 phases? Which phase are you on?
3 phases. We're teetering. We are falling into phase 1.
Oh, there you go.
It's been a mess. The governor and the mayor have gone back and forth a little bit here. So the mayor postponed us allowing anyone.
No, Madelyn, tell me it's not true. Political parties are clashing. What a shocker.
100%.
What
the name of the game in the United States of
What
America.
a shocker. So I'm guessing one's Republican, one's Democrat?
No, they're not, actually. But just the disagreement, I guess, of everyone's trying to make sure that we do the right thing. And I think with something like a global pandemic, we've never seen this in our lifetime. And so no one knows quite how to handle it. And so I think everyone's trying to make the best decision that they can make. But it is difficult to not have the entire state government on the same page or have a clear answer of what we do with our business.
Right. So tell me about the actual place that you work at. Where are you working at now? And what's your demographic too of of customers?
Yeah. So I work at Lunch and Supper, which is a restaurant in Scott's Addition, or rather it's 2 restaurants, and then we also have a beer garden and an event space and a whole catering department. So we have we call it the compound, but kind of like a city block of buildings. We have a smaller original restaurant, which is lunch, and then we expanded and opened a bigger restaurant, which is supper, which led into the beer garden, which led into the event space. So we're one of the original restaurants in Scott's
The
Addition.
OGs?
Yeah, Scott's Addition is a neighborhood that has flourished.
Oh, trust me, I got drunk there quite a few times.
Right, exactly. And our demographic is that we have a lot of, we have Southern comfort food, so we have a lot of, people who come for that experience, and then we have a lot of, just the young singles like us, rolling around to all the breweries and then going to eat some fried chicken after.
Yeah, to cure the hangover, yeah. Exactly. So, what's the biggest problem you think, obviously besides this pandemic, but what do you think the biggest problem is going to be going forward? Like once you get, is it just because there's always this set fear of it coming back, or the 6 feet distance thing? I assume that's going to be practiced from now on, right? The distance?
Yes. So that's a huge thing, especially we have smaller, so like I said, 2 restaurants next door. We have small interiors to those restaurants. We have a big patio, a big beer garden, so that kind of lends itself in our favor. But we don't everyone, it's very close, it's very packed. We typically have a very long wait with people packed around the bar and things like that. That's not going to be a realistic view of our business continuing forward for quite some time. So it's figuring out how to adjust our business and what it is that we've done normally that's been so successful, and how do we reach people on a different level and offer a different type of business.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the broad picture though. Like, do you work with other establishments in the city on guidelines? Like, do restaurants work together on stuff, or is it just each for their own? Each on their own.
The restaurant industry is very unique in the sense that it can be very supportive or very cutthroat. But people really do in the city of right. People do in the city of Richmond really try to help each other out, and I think that's been a really cool turnout of this entire pandemic. Is people just wanting to support each other, wanting to support local, and wanting to make sure that everybody's okay. Guidelines-wise, that's all pretty much government mandated, so we just roll with.
You just toe the line, huh?
Told what we can and can't do. Mm-hmm. Some people are reopening immediately. Some people aren't. It's so everyone has their different take on it. But I think the overwhelming perspective from this entire situation has been small businesses supporting each other.
Yeah, and then also, I'm sure you guys are using Uber Eats or Grubhub or something, right? But then there's money taken away from that too.
Right. So we're using a system called Chop, and then they use DoorDash as the third-party delivery.
Is that a Richmond thing, or is it just?
I'm, to be honest, not 100% sure.
Well, I know what DoorDash is, but explain the process that you're talking about.
So Chop is like an app essentially, or an online ordering service where people can place their orders through. They come into an iPad in the restaurant, and then if the order is for delivery, then they use DoorDash again as a third party to get a driver to deliver it. So Chop doesn't have their own delivery driver.
Oh, that's some shit.
Of the difference. Yeah.
So have people been unfortunately laid off or dismissed because of the pandemic?
Yeah, we went from a staff of, this is general numbers, but a staff of about 120 people, I believe, who are on payroll, and now we have about 14.
Wow. So it was like the Hunger Games, literally. See what I did there?
That's actually a phrase I've used. It's like the Hunger Games, like fight to keep your job, but in the best way. I mean, a lot of...
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
No. Most of our staff, with all the unemployment benefits and everything right now, they really are doing okay. And we, as a restaurant, we paid a lot of our employees after shutting down just to make sure everyone was okay. There just isn't a job for everyone right now. But I am grateful to work for a company that takes care of their employees.
Yeah. So what's the biggest misconception people have of the restaurant business? What do you think is the biggest stereotype that people?
That's a great question. I think there's maybe two parts to my answer on that. I think that there's a big misconception that you just work in a restaurant, or people a lot of times will view working in a restaurant as, I served tables in college, or I bartended at college, and not viewing it as an actual career path. And for me personally, it's the thing that makes me happy. It's absolutely what I want to do with my life. Food and beverage and hospitality is what makes me me.
So you help out, and you're doing a service too. You're helping out lazy people that don't want to cook their own food. You're cooking it for them.
I don't know about that. We care about people providing experiences. I mean, when someone comes to your restaurant for their anniversary and you are able to make it a really good time, you just provided a memory for someone. And we all look to going to restaurants and bars for fun and for memories, and we're able to provide that for people, and I think that's really cool. But another misconception I think of restaurant life is everybody's just crazy. And it's like the wild, wild west. The answer to that is that's true.
It's just, Madelyn, it all depends on when the club closes. That's it,
Exactly.
And that's the thing I loved about like Richmond had like the greatest diners like ever. What's that third? Is it third? Yeah. Is it Third Street Diner?
Third Street Diner.
That shit. Oh my god, like a foodgasm when I went there. Like the food was just like incredible. They still have. Is that place still open?
Third Street will always be open.
Yeah, it just seemed like it seems like one of those people. For people that don't know Richmond, think of it like a neighborhood, like kind of a neighborhood side street. And then down the street, there's this random diner near because there's similar near housing there, isn't there? Kind of. But
Third Street still is in the middle of the city, but it's not in the most populated area. But Third Street Diner is owned by someone who owns also a bunch of strip clubs in Richmond.
Oh, good people. Yeah.
And so, right, exactly. So if they're open 24 hours, it can be wild in there. There's a lot of...
Oh, I know. I've had some good times in there.
The food, questionable to say the least, and it's open 24 hours.
Yeah, so no one cares.
It's good.
Madelyn, no one cares the quality.
No. No.
People just don't want to throw up after alcohol. So
Exactly.
The greasier the better, you know?
That's the entire thing, yes.
So I did a brief research on you, Madelyn. I stalked you earlier this week.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Well, let's leave it at that. I'm not going to continue with that. But I did some research and I saw from, I don't know who it was, someone said that you had a good cocktail menu. Do you make your own drinks?
I do. So right now, with the entire pandemic and everything, I've been a bartender for a long time, and I've been a bar manager at 2 different restaurants now. So now is actually a very different time for me job-wise. I've written lots of cocktail menus in the past, but I have the chance to now, with the to-go cocktail program, I'm writing all the menus and making all of the drinks myself with some help from colleagues, of course, but I'm able to really just write menus and make drinks, and that's really, really cool for me right now.
Mm-hmm. So what's your specialty? Like if I had to recreate one of your specialty items.
I think, to be honest, I'm the type of person I can find an appreciation for anything. So if people want something super sweet and fruity, I can do that. If people want, something boozy with
but let me guess, you like vodka? You use vodka a lot?
No.
No? Okay, then tell me the spirit. Tell me the spirit that you use the most in.
I've been called snobby before, but lots of bartenders. Vodka is a spirit that is very easily hidden, and I think that the actual art of mixology is taking a spirit and bringing it to light, adding things.
Ooh, look at you bringing people, bringing back from the dead.
Yeah, but it's taking a spirit and altering it in a way that makes the spirit come to life. And vodka as a spirit doesn't lend itself to that. Will I drink a vodka soda? Absolutely.
We're getting creepy here on the podcast, Madelyn. I didn't expect this. Talking about bringing back the dead, taking things to like what the fuck?
Mixology is supernatural.
That's now I understand the meaning of the word spirit.
Right. But when you take any type of liquor and you wanna make it shine and not cover it up.
No, I know. I'm just kind of the point. I'm just messing. What's your favorite drink though? Like when you're out at a club. I know you go clubbing. I remember that. Don't act like you don't, Madelyn. I know you do.
Way to put me on blast, Sean. No, I do. I love to go out.
Yeah, shocker.
I'm an experience-oriented person. I love to go out and have a good time. But what I would drink when I'm out, say at a club, is probably different than my taste.
I remember the one. The one night that I remember you hanging out. I only remember hanging out with you one time, and we were all really fucked up at a club. What was that club that we were at?
What club?
What?
What club?
There was a club that we went to, and then it got shut down, I think. I don't know. But yeah, I only met you one time at a club, and we all went in together, and you and whoever was with went away from the group. It was like a group that split into two, you know?
I have no idea.
Right, because you go to so many clubs that you lose.
I remember that night, but I don't know where that was.
It turned into a car lot, or I don't know.
Oh, off the hookah.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we all went to off the hookah, and and we all got shit faced, and then all of a sudden, half our group, meaning you and your sister and a couple other people, had just like disappeared.
Sounds like me and my sister.
Well, which one? As Amber told me, which one?
Oh, right. Which one? Sounds like me and both my sisters. Let's put it that way. We're always hiding in a corner.
Let's get back on track here before we start losing more listeners. So, what do you think about all the seltzers, like the gluten stuff going on? Are you for seltzers? Are you happy when people order a seltzer?
So I personally live and die by a hard seltzer. I'm a LaCroix. I drink sparkling water, regular water, so I have been called out for drinking mainly LaCroix. So when that became a trend, I was super into it. I love sparkling water, and I love them. I think, they're light, easy drinking, like great for a lot of different activities, and it's really fun, like trying all the different flavors. Actually, just today, Aldi they're called Vista Bay. Aldi has their own seltzer. Oh,
Aldi. We're talking about the first Aldi mention on the podcast.
Right. First of all, we live and die. We stand Aldi.
Oh, hey, don't attack me. Shit.
But I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but it should be exciting. We'll find out.
I'm not trying to date myself at how old I am, but my dad may not have given me a beer, before I was 21. So I'm not that old. I'm 33, but I remember there'd be no such thing as people weren't aware of the shit that was going in their body. They would just say, "Hey, give me a beer," and give me a shot. If you look at movies and stuff from back in the day, you tell me in the 90s that, the next big hit's going to be Bud Light Seltzer, people would laugh and throw it right back into your face. What do you think caused that change?
So, that's a big / very fun question.
I'm putting you on the spot here on the Sensibly Cynical podcast, Madelyn.
I love it. I love being put on the spot. That's where I thrive. So, for someone who works in the restaurant industry, there is a different, opinion of allergies or people who do not want to consume something specifically. Gluten being a very big trend over the past 10 years, I would say. So there are people who are celiac and who are very much so gluten intolerant. And should we, all of us as people, consume as many carbohydrates as we do? Probably not. So when you work in a restaurant, people will be like, I don't eat gluten.
Yeah, that shit's like a 2010 thing, right? Isn't that when it started?
Right. And part of that is very truthful, and that is a part of, health awareness, and realizing that certain things don't agree with your body. However, there are people with celiacs who really, really cannot, so if someone says to me in a restaurant, I can't eat gluten, what can I have? Well, can you have french fries? Technically, are they gluten-free? Yes. Are they fried in a fryer that also has things fried in flour in it? Mm-hmm. Yes. Are you celiacs or are you gluten-free? Are you gluten intolerant? There's different levels to it. And so you end up having to break down people's allergies for them.
Oh my God.
Which is a very interesting position to be in. And then you have to decide, at our restaurant, we constantly go back and forth on, is the barbecue sauce gluten-free? And as
I love it.
I can't say that word. Worcestershire?
Worcestershire?
I think it's Worcestershire.
Oh, well, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
I think it's Worcestershire. Worcestershire? I don't know.
Worcestershire. Right, so our barbecue sauce has that in it. Technically, there's trace amounts of gluten in it, kind of. So is that really gluten-free? So you end up getting to this whole thing, and there's nothing that chefs hate more than gluten-free people. But when it comes to
that's what they're called? They're called gluten-free people?
I mean,
that's what they're called?
There's a lot of other words for them. No, but I mean, anyone who recognizes, hey, I can't eat gluten, it doesn't work with me, it doesn't sit well with me, like, totally cool.
Man up, don't be here, go somewhere else.
No, but there's no shame in that game.
No, I know, I'm just kidding.
No, I know, but it's just like, we'll find something for you, but there's a lot of people who very much so dramatize.
No, I know. My buddy's gluten-free, and I tell him to drink the whiskey anyways.
Right, but like, are you gluten-free people can technically drink whiskey. If you're celiacs, you can't. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It gets very into that, but I think having an easy drinking beer-like substance on the market that is gluten-free is super smart, and obviously they made a ton of money.
I hear you. So speaking of funny, thanks for leading me on to my next question.
Right.
What's the craziest thing you've seen in your 10 plus years in the food and beverage industry? Give us a crazy story that you won't get you in trouble.
That's the longest and hardest question.
Well, hey, we're only 20 minutes in. I got all night.
Crazy how? To be honest, working in a restaurant, everything is crazy. Like, crazy in what way? A crazy guest?
You can take it the way you want. You can go with this. This is the open-ended form.
Okay, so one time I was bartending at the time, and there was a group of people. They were staying at the hotel next to the restaurant I was working at, and they came in and were just very loud and obnoxious and not wildly respectful from the get-go. So this lady is drinking, she's probably in like her mid-50s. She's drinking like a vodka cranberries at 3 p.m., And I go up to their table, and in front of her there's a glass that has like all the ice has been melted, everything's been drank out of it. There's like a sheen of cranberries juice on the bottom of her glass, and then half melted ice cube. Like, you drink everything in that glass, girl. Like, and so I go to pick up the glass, and I'm like, hey, can I get you another one? And she reached out and like slapped the shit out of my hand.
What?
And I was like, she was like, I'm not done with that. And literally, there's one half of a melted ice cube in the bottom of her glass. Yeah,
that's messed up.
And I looked at her, and I was like, excuse me? And she was like, don't take that away. I'm not done with it. I was like, you just slapped me. And she was like, well, you were taking my drink. And I was like, okay, you have to leave. And she was like, says who? I was the bartender and also the full-time manager.
Oh, the double piece.
Says me? I'm the bar manager. Get out. Granted, things don't always go like that, and I love most guests that I have, but that's obviously not okay. But that was crazy. I couldn't believe this.
You like says me, and you flexed your muscle as you said it.
Yeah, absolutely. I said, okay, you can't be respectful. You could go.
Because it's a hospitality service. And true, your money, you can spend the money on wherever, it's your hard-earned money, but it's also the establishment's rules.
Right, and I also have the choice not to take your hard-earned money if you're disrespectful.
And you can say, skedaddle.
Yeah. It was fun, though. She thought she was about to get mad, and then I was like, no, I'm
like big mad, as they say?
So
no?
Go into anyone's establishment and think that you can slap the hand of the manager there. Like, that doesn't work in any other establishment.
Well, yeah, she didn't know you were a manager.
Catch a court case.
No, she didn't know you were the manager, though.
No.
She just thought you were someone low on the totem pole.
Right, but walking into anyone's shop and treating them disrespectfully is not okay.
Uncalled for. So, I know it's been a while since I've been in the scene. So, what's changed in the nightlife in Richmond the last, 3 years? Anything changed?
So, to be honest, a lot of when you lived here, like, there were a lot of clubs open. And
there was. It was popping. Like, I lived on the West End. The West End is no more. I hear that whole thing's changed.
It has. This city specifically changes, like, very drastically and very quickly. And I think the trend as far as nightlife goes has gone from like sort of the old school, like have a nice day, half factory, off the hookah.
That was
Lucky Buddha.
We already
like
talked about that.
Richmond used to get down, and we kind of have trended from there to more of the brewery and elevated
upper class, high class kind of stuff.
I don't know if it's high class stuff, but just like more focused on the actual like food and beverage
experience, more of an experience than let's get messed up and
absolutely
and see you tomorrow some other time.
Exactly. Exactly. The vibe in the city of Richmond has changed for sure. And again, that's all been affected by the pandemic. But
there's a question I want to ask you about the breweries. That's oversaturated itself, right? Like there's too many. There was when I left.
I mean, one would think.
I mean, isn't there like 15 now?
Oh, it's way more than that. I don't know an exact number, but the brewery scene has absolutely popped off in the city of Richmond, and I don't know if I would say it's oversaturated. I think that, they all can open and maintain their business because there is a clientele for it. That people in the city of Richmond will always drink, they will always eat, and they will always hang out by the James River, and that's what we do.
Yeah,
that's RVA. So I think,
and Saco Bottom, that was my shit. I miss Richmond. I left kicking and screaming. I did not want to leave, but I kind of had no choice. When you lose your job, you kind of have no choice. But
right, you gotta take it.
I did not, dude. I fell in love with that city. I really did. I didn't think I was. Like when I don't think you know the backstory how I got there either. I don't think Amber even knows. So I know this is supposed to be interviewing you, but if you don't mind me divulging this story,
please.
Okay, so I was working in Orlando. I'm from Central Florida originally, like small town. You know where NASA is?
Yeah.
That's my hometown, Titusville, where there's... Yep, that's my hometown. And I went to school at UCF, got it. The job I got was in Orlando, so I got lucky there. But I commuted. Like Titusville is 40 minutes east of Orlando, so I just stayed home with mom and dad, and commuted to work and came back. They didn't pay. I paid them. You know what I'm saying? I paid them. I felt bad for them. You know what I mean? So all they did was give me a bed. I mean, I paid for everything else. I even, you know what I mean? Like I didn't use them to live. And eventually at 23, I got my own place. And then I go into work one day, right? And they're like, there's a new opportunity, and we may have you relocate you. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. Is it gonna be a pay raise? Oh yeah, don't worry about that. Well, shit, it better be 10%. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It wasn't 10%. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. They're like, oh, Richmond, Virginia. I'm like, where the fuck's Richmond? No offense I love Richmond now. But I'm like, they're like, Richmond. It just seemed out of nowhere. Like, obviously I know it's the capital, but it's like, Richmond, Virginia, it just seemed out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, that's the capital of Virginia, right? Like, what's there? Oh, DC's there. Okay, the Redskins, all that. Like, all right, I can dig that. How much you going to pay me? Oh, well, let's talk about that. So I had to go back and forth, and they needed me in Richmond ASAP. Like, ASAP. And then that's what happened. I moved to Richmond 3 years later. They said, see you later. Thanks for moving your life here. Adios.
Wow.
And they kicked me out. And then my dumb ass used my unemployment to party. I don't think I told you or Amber this.
Right.
That last year, I loved Richmond so much that my dumb ass paid rent with it, and I partied with that unemployment money.
Right.
Like, I straight up, I was like, shit, I know this shit's coming to an end soon, but that's I got unemployment for a whole year. You know what I mean? Like,
we're here for a good time, not a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, well, sure, I know shit's coming home to roost soon, but that's then.
Right.
That's then. I got unemployment. Unemployment is basically like a job for, you get a majority of your salary for a certain amount of time.
Sometimes you gotta realize, like, work is work, but life is life. Like, sometimes you gotta just enjoy where you're at and what it is you're doing, and then figure out where you want to go next.
So that's how I got to Richmond. And then I got no idea who was who, met Amber at the thing, and meet up. But let's go back to, I guess we talked about what the craziest things, and let's talk about like what's the nicest thing that you've seen someone do. I know that people always laugh and joke about the evil side of the restaurant business, because I'm sure there is a side that no one wants to know or, puts under the table. See what I did there? Under the table?
That was a good one.
Not only tabs, but other things. Sorry, I made myself laugh. That's when you know it's a good joke. Is when you make.
I tell jokes. I am my own biggest fan. Like, I think that the jokes I make are hilarious, and I always laugh at myself. But I think that everybody should.
This podcast is gonna go. You have to be a repeat guest, Madelyn. You have to.
Absolutely.
This shit's great. Anyways, back to my original question. 10 minutes later, it's like that SpongeBob episode. 10 minutes later.
Right.
No, but
Is your whole entire adulthood just a SpongeBob episode, or do we know?
It's like 10 minutes later, like, and they're still doing the same shit.
And nothing's changed.
Yeah, and Sean loses himself on Sensibly Cynical. No, but what's the nicest thing you've seen someone do for others? Like, you've seen someone do a really nice thing on the job? Like...
To be honest, like, absolutely all the time, and that's the reason why I do what I do, is because I love, again, like I said earlier, to provide experiences for people, but then also, like, when you make somebody's day, like, that's such a good feeling. An example of that, even just recently, yesterday, we're reconfiguring our business and working takeout and delivery, and my job looks completely differently from what I used to do 2 or 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're figuring it out. We ended up having a really wildly busy day, and we had all these different new ideas going on, and trying to reach all these different people and all these big deliveries and things like that. And we were feeling a little bit down because we didn't quite get the food as fast as we could to everybody, and we prioritize and really pride ourselves in such a great level of service. And I was just kind of feeling down yesterday, and we got so busy that people were waiting for a long time, so I was giving them some of the cocktails that I had made. Just, we were giving them out to people, like, hey, thank you so much for waiting and your patience. Like, here's a free drink to take home with you.
Yeah.
And I just kind of came home from work feeling like a little bit down and out, like we could have planned better or something, but it's just growing pains. But someone just posted this really, really, like, nice review and was like, I ended up having to wait for a while for my food at this restaurant. And they posted a picture of the drink that we gave them. I was just like, but I got this great drink. And, like, I really needed the experience of being at one of my favorite restaurants. And, like, I just felt, so great
at home,
tonight.
kind of, yeah.
And they were like, I used to love to go there. And I was able to have that experience where they gave me the level of service I was used to from them. And just took the time to, like, post that. And yeah. This person doesn't even know that, like, the people who, like, I were running, like, dripping sweat, working so hard, and, like, worried that everybody got the experience that they wanted. Like, they didn't know that we needed to hear that. And so...
And I think that gets lost, too, is people are really so focused on, going to work, coming home, that there's emotional part, too, that people
right.
are so selfish.
Well, and the thing about the restaurant
or
industry...
can be.
Absolutely. But the thing about the restaurant industry is there's no... You go to work and you come home. Like, if you work in a restaurant, you work way over most people. You work, typically my work week is 55 to 60 hours.
That's crazy.
And that's changed a little bit now, but...
Oh, now that you got those stripes, you got those power stripes, yeah.
No, but like, no, it's literally just because of the pandemic.
I'm kidding. It was a joke.
No, I know. But, you don't put in those kind of hours because you're not passionate about something. Like, that's also a part of my personality. I don't do anything because I have to. I choose to do things because I care about them. And, like, I'm very passionate. And I worry about, like, I want to do the best that I can do every day. because some days when you don't feel your best and somebody just says something nice, like, hey, we saw you and we appreciated you, that means the absolute world.
Yeah. Yeah, so what else do you do? What's your hobbies, Madelyn, besides getting wasted every weekend with friends?
I do not get wasted every weekend with friends.
Well, not now. I'm just kidding.
No, I cook a lot. I spend a lot of my free time cooking. I have a super huge family, so I spend a lot of time.
Yeah, I've learned that recently, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't ask which brother or which sister singular anymore.
Right.
Which one?
Exactly. Which one? There's 17. But yeah, honestly, I love cooking. That's how I got started in the food and beverage industry, was through cooking. So I spent a lot of my time doing that, spent a lot of time with my family. I love music.
Oh yeah, we can talk music. You want to talk some music?
Absolutely.
All right, what's your favorite musician, or what kind of music are you into?
I listen to a lot of rap and hip hop.
I just had a independent rapper on.
That's awesome.
Fresh C, yeah, he's a rapper out of LA. I just had him on. I've been having independent artists on too.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Independent artists need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked for a record label for a little while a couple years ago.
Look at you! Look at you!
Yeah, it started out as an internship in college, and then I just ended up working with them.
Where'd you go to school?
For a while, VCU.
Oh, Rams, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's how the partying started. It all makes sense now. Sorority.
I got it. One time and partied with you one time.
I got it. Sorority. I got it.
I was not in a sorority. Absolutely not.
On the podcast.
Right.
I digress. I love mess. I'm just messing with you. You know that, right?
No, absolutely.
You know what? There's few people I respect more than Amber and yourself and your family. You guys are good people. And
thank you very much. We appreciate that.
And I love you guys.
Amber, for fact, is the best person on this planet.
And you guys need to. You need to keep updated with me too. I don't think this can't be the first time I've ever talked to you. That needs to change. We need to talk more.
Well, you got to come back to Richmond and visit.
Oh, well, it's a different story. I just started a new job here, so. But let's get back to let's get continued with the music talk. So, who's your artist? Like, who's your go-to?
My go-to? That's such a big question. I can tell you what I listen to. All right, so overwhelmingly favorite artist. Like I said, I listen to a lot of rap and hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
So to name 17, I love Lil Wayne, Jeezy, J-Rock, Isaiah Rashad, Wiz Khalifa.
Too bad you weren't born when Tupac, the greatest of all time, was you know.
I still can listen and appreciate Tupac.
Okay.
No, but I don't know. It's my favorite type of music, and there's so many good artists in there. One of my favorite artists of all time is Nicholas F. He's a local Richmond rapper, and just to hear somebody talk about living in your city is really powerful in a different way. Yeah,
what's crazy is Tupac died at 25. It's a shame. He was only 25.
Yeah.
So do you have Spotify or Pandora? You just do a playlist and jam?
Spotify, definitely.
I have
Spotify or Apple Music.
I use Pandora because I like Pandora because it you know what I'm saying? Like, I listen to songs I've never heard of, you know? And
right.
It teaches me new songs. You know what I mean?
But you can get that through Spotify Radio.
I know, but...
And make your own.
But it's also $10 for all that shit. It's $5 for the Pandora one.
Sean, Pandora is a thing of the past.
I don't make that big roll money like Madelyn. That bankroll. I'm not a high end club. I'm too old to say bankroll.
No, bankroll was an artist who died.
No, I thought bankroll as in like the slang bankroll.
It was a joke too, Sean.
Oh, it went over my head, which I'm not that tall, so that's not hard. But This is great. I'm having a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too.
So let's get back on subject before we lose our listenership down to zero.
Right.
The cool thing about iTunes is I can actually see when people tune out.
That's wild.
I can actually see the data when someone stops listening.
Right. They're like, we've had enough.
And this could be it.
You started talking about Bankroll and Tupac and we all got lost.
And I'm about to cry laughing. Yeah. See, and that's the stuff that's good for you. The people need to laugh more. It's the thing.
They do. It's very healthy. Very healthy.
Apparently. So you're not much into... You like the R&B, like the slow stuff, or you're more into like...
Yeah, absolutely. I have the CD that's in my car deck right now is Big Crit.
Oh, okay.
But no, I love all different music. I love jazz.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years ago, my dad gave me a record player. Like my records
Vinyl?
are very different. Yeah, my records are very different from the actual music I would listen to on Spotify. So I have a lot of Hawaiian records. I have Earth, Wind, and Fire. I have Tchaikovsky. I have
really,
my music taste is really all over the place, but specifically more with the vinyl that
look
I
at you.
to.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up on rock, country. I grew up on it all, except for opera. Not really an opera person, but dude. And then what? Here's an underrated.
So you're not really Amber's friend, is what you're saying.
What, opera? She likes opera?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Amber? That's the only person in the world I would get in her car and she'd be like,
We've never talked about that.
This weird opera thing.
We've never talked about opera. All right, so you got any questions for me?
I don't think so. I super appreciate you. I had a blast chatting.
Yeah. So, sensible or cynical thought? What's your, do you got one?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Cynical.
Okay, go ahead. What bothers you?
People are trash.
That's it? That's all you're going to say?
That's my whole cynical thought. Most people are trash.
I think that's a good way to end the podcast, Madelyn. I think that's great.
I don't mean that. I love people. But...
No, you said you of all people should love it because that's how you get paid is people eat your food and drink your cocktails.
And trash people give me their money.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for being on tonight.
Absolutely. Anytime. It was a blast. Thank you.
It was fun. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye. Once again, I want to thank Madelyn for coming on the podcast today. As you could tell, I almost cried laughing. That was hilarious, and it was great catching up with her. You can check us out on Twitter at Cynical Sensibly, Instagram Sensibly Cynical Pod, and you can check out our Facebook group. Also, you can become a patron of Sensibly Cynical today. It's patreon.com/Sensibly Cynical. And if you could please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, it would be highly appreciated. Once again, thank you for listening to Sensibly Cynical. Take care.